keeping up with Conspicuous.
11.
I know, the weeks are flying by, it's nearly Christmas.
It is.
But today we are doing a podcast called The Recruitment Hot Seat. And today we're basically, me and Tyler, we haven't shown each other our questions yet, hopefully you haven't read them. Just questions that we've always wanted to ask each other, and like those little nitty gritty questions that we don't really say, you know?
Yeah, it's just things, seeing Lucy work and how she works and how I work and maybe things I've struggled with. What have I always wanted to ask Lucy that maybe we don't have time to sit down and talk about in the office? So
we talk about a lot, but not everything. So
okay.
Now's our time. Do you want to start?
Yes, I wrote these out in note form, so they might be awful questions, but we'll see. Okay, so Lucy, hot seat.
I feel like you need, like those things where the light goes down and it zooms in on the one person.
Right. How do you balance your work and personal life in such a demanding job?
Tough question. It is hard because recruitment can just take you away. You feel like you can just work and work and work until the evening. But I have a good excuse because I do have my other job as a sports therapist. So one night a week I make sure that I leave on time. But work and personal life, I've always said that if during a week you've still got to have things to look forward to. So my personal life is I like to go out and eat food, I like to go to the gym, I like to see my friends and family, take my dog for a walk. So I'll always make sure I've got things booked in throughout the week, and my friends at home will know I will book them in for a little cup of tea or coffee after work. I'll be like, oh, do you want to come over for a cuppa? And I make sure I've got that in, because then I have an excuse to come away from the laptop and go. Personal life, once again, but for both of us actually, gym and fitness is a massive thing.
Yeah.
And it's making sure, I've been guilty this week of not doing this.
And I've told you
off.
I've told you off.
That I haven't taken my break, because usually every single day I'll go to the gym. Well, not every single day, that was a lie. Most days I go to the gym for my lunch break, so I have a bit of personal me time. Tyler is religious with it, and she's incredible at actually making sure you have that balance.
I don't think there's not been one day since I've started, and this is something I'm proud of. You shouldn't be proud of not taking a break. We're beyond that now.
Yeah, I'm not proud of it this week.
But since I've started at Conspicuous, I think working from home, I find it harder to take lunch because you're in that environment constantly. But in the office, there's not one day I've not taken a lunch break.
You've actually just reminded me though, that's probably another way I balance my work and personal life, is working from the office. We've got flexibility to work from home, don't we? I will only work from home on a Friday, and I really don't like it, because home is home.
Yeah.
And my living room should not be my office. And I only live in a flat, so obviously that's why my living room is my office, but I feel like coming into the office helps me balance my work life, because I know I'm leaving the office, I can leave my laptop there, I take my work phone, but I leave the laptop there, and then I can do my own thing. So. And
in reality, as our director says, it's recruitment, no one's going to die. If you're not responding to an email at 7 p.m. at night, it can wait until 8:30, 9 a.m. It goes without saying, unless it's something urgent that is in process. But okay.
That's my answer to that one.
Oh,
hopefully it helps. Right. This, to be fair, this kind of links in, but I've written it how I would say it. So recruitment can be stressful. I think there is no hiding that, and it can cause you to overwork. So burnout's quite a big topic, right? What things do you do personally to try and avoid burnout? We've all been struck by it a few times.
Oh God.
I get that. But
I'm not the right person to ask this question. I'm not gonna lie.
What do you feel like you should be doing to avoid it? Because you are someone that has experienced it, because she works and works.
I think the problem is I don't know when to stop, and that's something I've always struggled with. It's not necessarily saying no to people when they ask me to do things. It's knowing what is enough, and because recruitment has been so hard, you feel like you're working and you're not achieving anything. So there's literally no point do you get told, oh, well done, you can stop or have a breathe. That's not the case. You're constantly working, you're helping people. And I think that's something I'm always going to struggle a little bit with. but also it's my personality to just overwork myself.
So, if you could do anything to avoid burnout, what are your things that de-stress you?
I'd say like definitely gym. That's
Yoga.
definitely one. Yoga.
She messaged us on Teams yesterday. Guys, I've had a really stressful day. I'm off to do yoga.
Do you know, I still didn't. I just got so like mixed up in emails. However, no, look, obviously like burnout, I think fresh air, taking breaks, doing things you like, if it's 10 minutes a day or 2 minutes a day, it's the mindset of like, you're processing that you're making time for yourself. I don't care what job you're in, if you're not making a little bit of time for yourself in the evenings, cooking a dinner,
Having
I don't know.
hot chocolate. That's
Exactly.
your little release.
Exactly. Just do it. But yeah, enough about me. I'm going to ask you a second one.
Okay.
How do you plan your day without feeling overwhelmed?
I actually was having, you're going to laugh. This is a thing. I'm like this in recruitment. I'm never like this. My consistency with day plans and keeping organised. I literally was talking to our training lady and HR, Vanessa, and I was like, I can't keep consistent with my day plan. So I'll sit down with Vanessa. I'll be like, right, what can I be doing? What does my week look like? I time block it out in my Outlook diary, all colour coordinated.
It looks pretty.
And then I come in, so I'll throw a spanner in the works, and
Yeah.
I'm like, right, I have to do this. And then my brain cannot refocus back into my diary. So I've taken time to think about this. And this was only yesterday that I was like, no, Lucy, you are consistent. And when you're consistent, I'm really good.
Yeah.
When I'm bad, I'm here, there and everywhere.
You are being dramatic. You're always quite consistent. I don't know what she's going on about. Look, how do you stop yourself feeling like you're good at what you do? Right. Guys, she's making us dramatic. I want a sentence, please. How do you stop yourself feeling overwhelmed when doing this new day plan you've created?
To-do list, colour coordinating and time blocking my diary to make sure I stick to something.
See, I like it. There we go. You're brilliant. My turn.
Thanks. It is your turn. Right. I feel like this is a little bit of a deeper question.
Wasn't the other one?
Oh yeah. All of mine are pretty hard to be fair. Okay. But what is one mistake that you done early doors in recruitment that sort of like scarred you and taught you your most valuable lesson to date? That's tough.
Probably
That is tough.
I remember getting one of my first offers, and I didn't really know that you could offer negotiation as an option. Like if a candidate was offered this much and for whatever reason they needed just that slight little bit more, maybe another offer or the situation has changed, I didn't know that you could offer negotiation. So by deal, like by job, and I don't think the candidate felt confident to sort of say, can I have more money? And yeah, so it didn't go through.
I mean, I remember when you first started, and even me as well, we both got struck with so much.
Yeah.
Like, unlucky, that's not a word, is it? Unluckiness? Yeah?
Let's go.
Yeah, we'll go with it.
Yeah.
It's not, it's a Thursday morning and I've just hopped off a client call, so my brain is everywhere. But, yeah, like there were a lot of deals that didn't go through for us at the start.
Yeah.
And that, yeah, they do teach you your most valuable lessons to date. And now I'll give you a flag, but...
I don't know about that.
Yeah, but
it's still difficult because as like to do our job we need honesty from candidates, and it's something that I still struggle with now because it's not up to me to do the right thing always. It is down to like having honesty from people and like clients being flexible, candidates being flexible, like it just simple things like if interviews need to be rearranged for a week's time, knowing how is that going to change timelines on your job search. Are you happy with that? If you're not, please say. Just simple things.
Nice.
Okay. How do you give candidates feedback, from an interview that maybe it hasn't gone so well and the feedback's not amazing?
That's actually like one of my questions. I thought we weren't going to have any crossovers, but that might be a bit of a crossover, so I might want to get back to you.
Yeah.
But I think the one thing, if you're negative about it, they're going to feel negative about it.
Yeah.
But I'm quite an upbeat, happy person. If anyone in the office disagrees, you're lying. But I'm usually quite an upbeat, happy person, and I always will be when I'm on the phone to my candidates. And okay, I say to them, look, this is the feedback. It might not be, what we expected, but it's a learning curve.
Yeah.
It was an experience, and I'll always finish if there's a little bit of negativity. One, tell them that negativity, tell them that negative feedback, because they need to know.
Yeah.
Because you won't learn from your mistakes, and it might not be negative feedback to do with the person.
Yeah.
It might be about how that, how the role doesn't fit their skill set. So actually, it's the job that isn't quite fitting to what you're looking for as well. Like, so, I'll always try and put a spin on it and just say, look, it's an experience. It's a good little warm up for an interview. Like, you've been through an interview process now. But it's just being transparent with candidates.
100%.
You've got to be transparent. Do not be scared about letting them know, because you wouldn't like it if you didn't get told. Like,
and I feel like that's a bonus of working with recruiters, is we get more feedback for you throughout the process.
Yeah.
And updates where if you're applying directly, 9 times out of 10 you won't get that.
Yeah.
You'll just get a no.
So my top tip would be, even though it's a negative, try and look at the positive silver linings of everything, because there is something. I'm a firm believer in that.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason. There's always a silver lining.
Yeah.
So just off the back of that, I'm just going to hop to this candidate now. So I sort of put it, if, telling a candidate they've been unsuccessful with a role, how do you deal with telling people they're rejected? So technically the same, but have you got anything to add to that?
My go-to is, I'm just really glad that we've actually got feedback for you and they've been super honest with the situation.
Yeah.
And that's what I say. And I say it's always present feedback. It's not for the future. It's not for the past. Things change and it's subjective. It is a little bit subjective. Massive believer in that, because one company might not think it's the right fit, another will. So don't give up. And that's that.
Nice. Well, I'm glad I asked that. Anyway, the next one. So we sort of touched base on it earlier, but you like working remotely 2 times a week. I hate it, and I work it once a week. But how when you're working from home, how do you avoid the distractions of going to just put your feet up on the sofa, taking loads of time cooking food, or...
I literally don't have a choice. Like, I'm too busy to think about that. Genuinely, like, I think if you're in a job that maybe is a little bit less fast-paced and demanding, and less people are actually relying on you to be responsive and to help them, I think it would be easier to get distracted. But people are relying on me. Like, I'm not going to sit and watch a film when a candidate's interview, they're waiting for their feedback, or they've got a job offer and I'm sitting on it. Like, it's a moral thing for me. Don't get me wrong, Fridays I am a lot more flexible. If I'm doing new business and reaching out to new clients and it's the afternoon, I will sit on the settee and chuck a film on in the background, and like our director says to do that sometimes on a Friday afternoon. And I think it's about having that flexibility. But I wouldn't do that if I had 25 emails awaiting for me.
I guess, yeah, it's dependent on your workload on the day.
It is, 100%. Just be smart, and like, I'm smart. Common sense says, if I've got things to do, don't spend 45 minutes making protein pancakes in the morning.
Ooh.
Sorry, that's quite specific.
You've made me quite hungry.
Okay, Lucy. How did you learn when to stand your ground with clients?
That's a great question. I feel like it's tough, because I am someone that always stands my ground. I'm a bit stubborn, and I feel like I'd rather just say things how it is. So I feel like that's just built in my nature a little bit. But I don't know. I always used to think, 'cause when you first came into the job, you had to pull 5 roles in. That's how we work here. And you're a bit more flexible and a little bit nicey, because you want to get them in, you want to move on to candidates. But now, I think the way I stand up to them is by reassuring myself, I know what I can provide them.
Yeah.
I know my job. I know I'm good. You've got to have that confidence, because if you think you're rubbish and you can't provide them the services, that's going to rub off to them. So like, when I have my conversations now, like, it's confidence. It is confidence, and you learn that as time goes on. The more new business calls you have, the more confidence you get. And like the clients that I work with now, like I had a new business call the other day and it went great, But like, you know, you've got to remember in your head in recruitment, although you're doing the client a favour, they are also a partnership with you. So you work for them, but they are working for you as well, because you have a binded agreement.
Yeah.
Okay? So like, your expectations and their expectations need to align. And if one person, either side, whether it's me, whether it's the client, aren't meeting those expectations, you need to say something. You've got a contract binding that.
Yeah.
And you need to vocalise it. It's like I had a client call just now, and we were talking about the specific role we're working. And my client literally said to me, you are here to help, you're here to consult me. Please, if there is anything that we need to be doing to, like, you know, if they need to change it and make it more of an easier role to fill, or if we're being unrealistic with expectations, tell him. And I think that's key.
Yeah.
You need to have that relationship with a client where you can be open.
And not they won't get offended or like...
Yeah, because then it's not really standing your ground. It's just a mutual, respectful partnership.
I think standing ground, I also just meant, that sounds quite aggressive, but I think everyone knows what I mean.
Yeah, of
just
course.
mean like sort of push back if you need to.
Of course. And like with salaries and negotiations, we had it the other day with your client as well. It's just being open and honest. If you don't have that relationship and like partnership, then you are going to feel like you can't push back and stuff. Whereas if you've got a close relationship like you do with your client, and you literally said, look, you know, I need to give you a heads up about this.
Yeah.
It's only because I actually want to give you that feedback to get the best out of you guys and us.
I know, you know, also as well, if you say one thing to clients, one thing to us, it is a partnership. As Lucy says, we will find out.
Yeah.
So please don't overdo that.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true.
But yeah, I'd say be confident in what you do.
Yeah.
Like, I've been doing it a year and a half now. Like, I should know what I'm doing. I should portray it and come across confidently and that I know what I'm doing. So do it. Say it. Be it. That's going to be my new little slogan. So, Tyler, what is your biggest strength in recruitment and what is your biggest weakness?
Strength, consistency. I'm like a dog with a bone. I'm like the planner. When I did that psychometric test at uni or whatever it was, my results were just planning and organisation.
She loves it to do this.
I write about 8 to-do lists a day actually, and I do them all.
Even for life, she has a to-do list.
You know when I'm really stressed because I will be writing a personal to-do list at work. That's when the stress load is high. But no, so I mean, I can't remember the question now because...
Biggest strength and biggest weakness.
Strength, consistency, weakness would be expecting too much of myself and putting too much pressure on myself. That is, and like relying on numbers to mean that I am doing a good job. I think, like, yeah.
Do you know what? I would have said that as your weakness too.
Yeah.
Like, Tyler works hard, but Vanessa sits us down and she's like, guys, why are you stressing? Like,
yeah.
I'm
doing so bad.
You do overthink, and honestly, like, she works so hard, has great results, but sometimes it's never enough for you, is it?
No.
You want more because you're very hard on yourself, but she's great. So.
Right, next one. I'm not good at taking compliments, guys, hence the laughing. How do you consistently come up with content for LinkedIn? Because we don't get told what to post. Helena, marketing girl, helps us, but they're our own ideas.
What, do people think that it's not our ideas?
Well, just in case they think that, like, Rob's telling us this is what you must post on Monday.
Yeah, I
this
guess
is
some people are like that, aren't they?
Yeah.
No, well, to be fair, I was saying to you this week, my creative juices are not there this week, and you get those times. You do go through it, but for me, I get the. You're all going to think I'm really odd now if you don't think that already, but I get the weirdest thoughts throughout random times of the day. Like, even if I'm sat at home or in the shower and I think, that would be a good little post for LinkedIn, I'll do it there and then I'll schedule it. But like for me, following other people in the industry and seeing what topics of conversations they write about, obviously colleagues. I mean, as soon as you get a new role in, of course that's a new post because you want to advertise that. So that's pretty darn easy.
Yeah.
And then I guess personal stuff, I try and limit that a little bit on LinkedIn. Because not everyone really cares about your personal life as such. It is a business platform, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't like, this is going to sound really harsh, I don't like the people that are on LinkedIn, do a whole post about something really, really relevant, but then have a selfie at the bottom of it. That is not relevant to the text or
I think I've done that once. But to be fair, I was just feeling like, put a little smile on LinkedIn in that morning.
Sometimes it links though, but others it's completely different. I don't get that. But like in terms of guessing my content, sometimes I don't have content in my head. I can't think of everything, you know? And then I'll look back at what I posted a few months back that was really good, really relevant, and I'll repost it because I get new followers and connections every single day because I want to grow my network. They haven't seen that post, so why not reshare it?
And I guess we have Helena now who like helps us with, we're struggling with something or we haven't got, I think the big thing is with time as well. If we haven't got time to make something look great, because I'm very practical, Lucy's LinkedIn looks insane and her posts are always so nice. Mine are more practical unless Helena gets involved. So that helps, I think, with both of us.
100%.
Yeah.
Just give it to the creative person that
Director.
makes it beautiful.
You're like
You
the
do
Molly.
make everything
You're like the
beautiful.
Molly May.
Can I say?
The Molly May of PLT, but for conspicuous.
Wow.
That's
a compliment.
Wow, that was a compliment, wasn't it? So we've got keeping up with conspicuous because we're the Kardashians, clearly.
Molly May over
Molly
here.
May. Anyway, right. What is the best piece of career advice you've ever received? The silence.
Ever received.
It doesn't even have to
Learn-
be in this job.
Work hard, play harder.
Work hard,
But
play
that's
hard.
relevant for me because I don't know how to play harder. So that would probably not be needed for other people, but just my personality. I'm making it sound really bad. It's not bad. It's just for my personality. I think the play harder bit is play harder, and also my play harder is go home and read a book. Like some people's play harder is like go out and drink. So yeah, that's probably the best for me personally.
Absolutely. No, that's good. Short, sweet, to the point.
How do you know when you need a break? What are the signs?
I get a little bit snappy in the office. I go a little bit quiet because everyone thinks I'm so loud usually that if I am quiet, everyone knows something's up. So that's when I need a break. My eyes start to go a little bit fuzzy. That's when I need to take a break or put my glasses on because I don't wear them enough. But also, it's just feeling. Like, you know the feeling. Like, I feel drained and I can't hide it.
Yeah.
Like, I am quite open with my emotions. Like, if I'm hungry,
So
you'll
I
know
am.
because
Yeah,
I'm
I
hungry.
am.
If I'm tired, you'll know because I yawn quite loudly anyway. I do, don't I?
I wasn't sure what I yawn quite.
I do yawn quite loudly. Like, I make it apparent.
To say.
I make it apparent when I yawn. But yeah, I just
So you
know.
hiccup quite loudly as well, or?
Yeah, I do. Oh my. Were you at the office the other day when I had the hiccups? Was
I can't remember.
No, it was
I was
Vanessa.
probably on my
could-
35 back-to-back calls.
Literally were actually, because I was saying to Vanessa, I was like, I really need to call this candidate, but I can't because I've got the hiccups and they just won't go. Anyway, but like, I think other people notice it before I admit it. I think I know in myself when I need a break. I won't admit it because I'm stubborn. But other people, like when Rob took us on the spa break, because he was like, you guys need a break because you're tired and we're working hard. But I think, you know, like if you've been putting the hours in, it gets to the point where you're like tipping on the edge to go into burnout phase, but you need to pull yourself back before you get to that.
Definitely.
So, yeah, obviously there's physical signs and symptoms. I might not look glam on a day where I literally have rolled out of bed because I'm trying to get as much sleep as possible because I'm shattered.
Like me today and every day. Like maximise sleep, maximise performance. Who wants to curl their hair in the morning? Come
Absolutely.
on. You obviously put effort in, I don't. Right.
I actually rolled out of bed quite late this morning.
I actually did for me as well.
Yeah, I actually don't take very long to get ready. I take 20 minutes.
That's good.
So yeah, no, that's how.
Okay.
And then, have you got any more questions or have I done more?
I've got one more.
I've got two, so that works out perfect.
Okay.
What is one thing you appreciate about working on the UK team, like our team?
How collaborative we are, communication, honesty. If we don't like something or we don't think something's fair, we will say it to each other's face.
Yeah.
over and done with then and there. And then fourthly, like, it's genuinely a second family for me. And I think people think that you have to get on with your colleagues 24/7 and you can't have little heated discussions, not arguments, not disagreements, just, and like, I argue with my sister, I argue with my mum, all the people I'm closest to I argue with, and genuinely, hand on heart, that team up there are like my second family. I can go to them with anything. And like Helena and Lucy are genuinely like my two of my best friends now. Like, and I know there is up for discussion about being friends with colleagues, but we're in recruitment and we're kind of self-employed.
You know the
so
line as well, though.
Exactly.
Like, we pull each other up on stuff, or like we'll have a discussion if we don't fully agree with something or whatever.
And we're not like, we don't take things to heart, do we? We're honest.
It's a professional line.
Yeah, for sure.
But outside of work hours, the professional line's got me. So yeah, no, that's good. That's really good.
Lovely. How do you handle working or getting emails outside of regular hours? Like, say you've got a deal going on and you need to be at a family dinner at 6, but you need to send an email at that family dinner because it's crucial for that deal. How do you deal with that?
Links back to that. We're a great team. We have good communication. Everyone helps out everyone. Like, if I know I've got that, as long as we communicate it to someone who is able to do that or willing to do that call for you or whatever it may be, then yes. However, depends on the candidate, depends on the client, and it depends, you know in certain situations if that news or whatever it may be has to be delivered by you.
Yeah.
If so, sorry family, sorry friends, I gotta do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess you could just draw the line at one quick email.
Yeah, of course. But like, for events, for holidays or whatever, it's just making sure you're proactive in the build up to that. As if you know you've got something going on, make sure you're proactive. Before I went to Barcelona and France, I knew I wanted to fully switch off. Like, I'm pretty good at that. Like, others aren't so good at just switching off for holidays. But if I'm on a beach, I'm on a beach. I'm not worrying about work. I need a break. I need to mentally reset. And I know some people say recruitment never stops. For me, yes it does. I need that break. So, like, as long as I've made sure I've sat down, I've scheduled my LinkedIn posts for a week, because now I'm building up if I put job adverts out, refresh all of them, then I come back, I've got job applications to go through. As long as I'm keeping something running in the background, but
it's not stopping then, is it?
But you do it before you go on holiday. And you schedule things, and then you give your handover notes to whoever is willing to help you during that week. Of course, if there's anything major, yes, I have my WhatsApp on for them to call me or have a question. I'm not that strict. I'm not going to be like, no, I'm not answering to you. But it's just managing time, getting it all sorted.
So, okay, I guess last question.
This is a pretty good one. Other than our podcast, because obviously it's the best in the world. Is there any other podcasts you would suggest to listen to? It doesn't have to be recruitment related, but any that's helped you.
So I think there's one called I say this word wrong all the time. Psychology of Your 20s or something like that. That's really good. That's like it's not actually all about mental health. It's just about dealing with situations and finance and stuff. There's also Diary of a CEO, but I don't listen to all of them. I'll only listen to ones I'm interested in. Grace Beverly, the one that set up Tala, she does Hardly Working, something like that. That's amazing, really, really good. And then I do listen to a couple of others that are like just a little bit weird. I follow one that does like a different topic every day. And but those are the main ones.
That's good. I'd be interested in the 20s one. Because
interesting.
Yeah. I was thinking about this the other day, just about 20-year-olds who are in such a random moment in your life. You've got some people married and kids and have their life sorted, have a really good career, and you've got others that's like me, still figuring out where you want to be, what you want to do.
And Table Manners. Table Manners by Jessie Ware or something. That's really good as well.
My mum said she was listening to that the other day. And she's not a podcast girl like me, so that was there we go.
But I mean, thank you so much. Obviously, I was really interested in asking these questions anyway, so
Same. I think it was good. I mean, I think
got some comments.
We've got some comments.
Yeah,
okay, do you want to read it out?
Yeah, I'll read them out. So the first one is from Malik, and he had a question about why if the role is remote, are people outside the country not considered? Because he has up to 6 years of experience. Even if he applied to 2 to 3 experience of the job, he's still not accepted. What should he do in that case?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So it's hard. Most times that we post remote roles, it is remote, but in the UK.
Yeah.
The reason for this is because if there's ever an important business meeting for like a huge implementation that they've got to attend to, or just basically any important meetings, or if you've got to go on a client site visit, because most of the time it is remote working with client site visits. So they've got to be in the UK.
And sometimes clients aren't happy with the partner they're using employing people in different countries because of time zones, and they'll say, well, what if that's an issue? And also those clients sometimes don't like if in case communication skills aren't great, because naturally a lot of people do speak amazing English, but I guess it depends on the calibre of clients that are being dealt with and how strong your English speaking and written skills are as well.
That's quite important for documentation and everything. But also, even if it was a UK remote role, unfortunately there actually isn't too many companies set up that are able to sponsor.
Yeah.
And that's quite, there are amazing people I get applied to my roles. I think I've actually spoken to this gentleman before, but there's amazing people that apply to roles, and it's just, it's quite hard because I'd love to get you jobs. I'd love it, but
it is
we don't
an
have
added cost to companies, and
so
the
most
market's
aren't
been
able
tough
to do it, and it's been so tough this year. So hopefully that gives you some answers. But reach out to us if you want to know any more. I think, as I said, I've spoken to you. So any questions, drop us a message.
Yeah, definitely.
Great. So the next one is from someone called Barnali. She said, my CV got rejected each and every time after my application. I'm an electronics engineer with Prince 2 certificate holder and have 10 plus years of experience. May I ask you why my CV got rejected every time? I'm eligible to work in the UK.
Now, I don't know if she means her CV's been rejected with us or through other jobs, but
I don't think it's in our area.
yeah, I mean, if it is through us, we don't have any electronics engineer roles that I know of, and but it might just be that if you can get hold of someone like a hiring manager or the recruiter you're applying through and just say, look, I'd love some feedback on my CV if you can help. Obviously, we can give you feedback on your CV. Maybe reevaluate the jobs you're applying for. Like if you're applying to those and they're not successful, are there any other jobs you can consider, or can you get additional qualifications? Just try every angle.
I think it's so hard because the feedback is the main thing.
Yeah.
And if you're not getting that one, I'm so sorry, because that is absolutely rubbish. But I don't know if you've gone through a recruiter. If you have, ring them up. That's their job. Try and get them to push back for the feedback. If not, as Tyler said, any hiring manager, emails that you can sort of reach out to try and get that feedback. We can have a quick look at CVs, although it might not be our area of expertise. We can have a look and just sort of give some advice, because you might need to tailor your CV to specific job roles.
Yeah.
And if you're just sending like a standard one out to every single job, maybe we need to make some slight tweaks per submission, I would say.
Definitely.
Yeah. And this next question is kind of related to what you just said. Someone called Monica said, hi Tyler / Lucy, I'm a Microsoft D365 developer, having 3+ years of experience, can work without sponsorship in the UK. My CV is not getting shortlisted through the role requirement and is exactly the same as my skills. Improving my CV is the only thing that helps. Improvising, CV is the only thing that helps to get shortlisted rather than the actual experience.
So I think I've spoken to Monica before. I think it's just the roles that we're currently working on are looking for quite senior level developers at the moment. So it's not to say that your experience isn't good. It absolutely is. And I do remember your experience quite well, actually. It might also be, I can't remember how long you'd been working in the UK for. Some companies, linking back to the previous question, if you're applying for a role in the UK, they like to have quite strong experience working in the UK if it's a senior role. If it's not a senior role, a bit more flexible, of course, but I'm just sort of relaying what feedback we get.
Yeah.
So please take this with a pinch of salt, because this is what we get. This is not my view.
It's not every agency as well.
And it's not my personal view.
And if you are applying through other recruiters as well, and you're sort of getting a similar response, but it's for more mid-level, whatever level it may be, but different to senior, because as you said, a lot of our personal roles at the moment are very senior. Your CV can't portray everything, and this could be a way forwards. It may not, and it is very out there. But like our director said, why not send us a little video submission?
Yeah.
Because you can't see this face, you can't see communication skills or anything unless you're actually talking in person. So sometimes maybe adding a little video submission might if you want to do that. But it's just thinking outside the box. Like, if you really want to get in front of that hiring manager, you will try new ways. And, that might be something that people might be willing to try. Yeah. It is a bit out there if you're not confident. Of course, I get that, but it might help.
It's an option. Exactly.
So, yeah. Well, I think we've got the thumbs up that is the comments that we've got today. So next week, we will be live again. I think we're going to be going live every week. Is that correct? So please tune in every week if you're around.
Thank you for tuning in.
And if you need anything, or if anyone that's commented or hasn't commented but has some questions, reach out to me. Tyler, we'll be happy to answer.
One more question.
Sorry,
they just. So
I don't know why.
The same lady from before. I think thanks for your reply. Could you please suggest any telecom recruiters or project management recruiters? It would help me to find more specific replies.
Do you know, best thing I would recommend? We don't have any partnerships with the recruiters, but just type into LinkedIn like project manager roles and get a feel for, have a look and see which recruiters are posting them. Yeah,
at the bottom of each job advert is the company that's hiring, and if it says staffing and recruiting, click on there. And connect with the consultants there and talk to them.
Definitely.
Because it's not our area of expertise. I must admit, project manager roles within the IT space, it has been a little bit quiet this year.
Yeah, for sure.
I think you may be experiencing that, but it is a little bit quiet, so there isn't as many roles as previous years. So,
but just do your due diligence, just sort of see what roles you like the look of and then reach out to a recruiter. Just be a little bit picky, make sure they're sort of active on LinkedIn, good engagement, good following, things like that. Just make sure they're going to be held accountable a little bit.
Definitely, but
hopefully that
unfortunately
helps.
we don't know
we don't know
those type of companies, but you can definitely find them, so hopefully that helps. Well, have we got the thumbs up again? Lovely. Well, as we said, any more questions, drop us a message. But that's it for this week.
Thank you for listening, everyone.
Thank you, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you next week.